right, I believe that is live, and it is indeed live. Hello and welcome to the stream, my friends. Tonight seemed like a perfect night to try and find Shaymin before the end of the summer because it's been 3 summers already. And I feel like sometimes I get serious about Shaymin and other times I don't. But somehow Shaymin is still not in my possession. And I'm like, okay, what about tonight? Worlds 2024 is going on in Honolulu. Honolulu literally is like the definition of flowers. I feel like now is the time. So, I kind of got a late start anyways, and I was like, you know what? Kind of getting late start. It's a little late to start Friday Night Smash. I mean, technically it's not. I could start Friday Night Smash and there would still be 2 hours. I can go however long I want. You get my point. I felt like tonight was a Shaymin night. So, with that said, I welcome anybody who wants to come by and say hello. So what's weird about this is actually a lot of people are rooting for me for Shaymin, so I'm kind of feeling the support and the love for this one because this hunt is special. I have never shiny hunted Shaymin before. I've never had a shiny Shaymin. It was like the one Pokemon back in Diamond and Pearl that I did not shiny hunt. So, here we go. Hey, what's going on? How's it going, Archo and Froggy? Good to see ya. Hold the phone. I didn't know you were streaming. It was kind of a last-minute decision, Archo, but that said, actually, it's like 2 minutes in, man. It's, yes, I was streaming before you got here by like 30 seconds. So it was just me saying hello to everybody. Why is my cat... What are you doing? Okay, making sure he's good. The cat was looking at wall decorations, and he was getting some ideas that I don't want his head thinking about, like, you know, knocking them down. So, let's throw up the overlay really quickly. How are you guys doing tonight? It was great to see everybody yesterday and be able to do side order in the middle of the week like I did. That was awesome. By the way, we might get rained out. I'm not really sure. Supposedly I got some storms in the area. It says it's raining right now. That is a bold-faced lie. It's not even a drop of water outside. So, it says thunderstorms. I don't know. I couldn't tell you if there are going to be thunderstorms or not. Right now, the radar looks pretty clear, so I don't know why. It says, like, storms all weekend, every minute of every hour of the entire weekend, and I don't see the radar reflecting that. So, let's go ahead. How does everything sound, guys? Quick audio check, quick mic check. Everything sound nice and clear while I do the very first encounter of the night. Shaymin, are you going to work with us tonight? Tonight is literally the opening night of Worlds. Not only that, but I had proposed a wild idea. I mean, it's not that wild of an idea, but I thought, you know what would be insanely sick is if they were to present us with something involving Pokemon Legends ZA tonight, or if for that matter, sometime during Worlds this weekend. And I don't know who is reporting this, but I've seen a lot of people saying, oh yeah, it's definitely happening. I'm like, I was messing around. So if you guys are just bandwagoning for funsies, that's one thing. But are you serious? Did somebody actually legitimately leak it, or that there is going to be some sort of trailer or something that I need to be concerned about? So far, like I say, I haven't gotten a source. Nobody told me a source about that information, so I was screwing around. I was literally like, I think when I said it, I tweeted it out like 4 days ago, and I said something like, hear me out. New designs from Pokemon Legends shown during Worlds. That was just me messing around. So if I was actually accurate about that, I didn't know. That would be amazing. It's not that hard, I guess. Worlds is kind of a big deal, so... In fact, I want to say the last time Worlds was held in Honolulu, I was literally trying to get into Worlds. The only issue, of course, being that back then, well, even now, I don't know if they pay for all your flight and all that stuff. I don't think they do. I don't think, when you get an invite, you get an invite. You don't get everything paid for. But, yeah, it was not practical back then anyway. So, Navy Pier, man, took championship. That's as far as I needed to go in my life. Anyway, guys, how's everybody doing? No, my God, there's a wild demon cat running around. He's a little hyper. What's weird about it is I feel like when I start talking on the microphone, he knows that I'm not just talking to myself or making noise for the heck of it. He starts getting super excited and running around this room. So I stopped my Dialga stream, or I didn't stop it, but at one point I abandoned it. I walked away and was doing resets halfway across the room because my cat wanted to play. So I said I have to indulge my cat. Average John, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you, and welcome to the stream. I kind of wanted a nice, relaxing night, and I thought, you know what? I want to relax with Shaymin. Might as well go live while I do it. It's during Worlds, so I figure, you know what? We got a chance here. The luck is in the air, and I can feel it. So I'm like, Shaymin, you're gonna shine for me tonight. Currently watching World Championship and shiny hunting the Gimmighoul. So that's another thing that I was planning on doing is Gimmighoul. I got skunked on the first event. I shiny hunted Gimmighoul with a lot of you guys during stream, and nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I was like, okay. I'm not as attached to Gimmighoul. I would love to find a shiny Gimmighoul, but at the same time, I mean, maybe I'll go for it. Maybe I'll try and find it. It's just raid after raid after raid after raid, which I could have done that tonight too, but I was feeling, you know what? It's Worlds at Honolulu. So... literally Honolulu, flowers, the theme is there, man, and it's still summer. I'm looking at 45 days of summer left, so I'm like, you know what, 45 days of summer-ish, somewhere around there, plus or minus, depending on where you are. I'm like, I gotta get it, man. I gotta get Shaymin before the summer's over. It's gonna happen. Start learning VGC for the next month since I'm going to Baltimore Regional. Hey, my days are definitely behind me. And props because I was good, man. No, I was the best. Screw it. I could have gone to Worlds. I am not afraid to say that I was awesome, I was good, and I do not feel that I was inadequate enough not to go to Worlds. Which was brand new at the time, by the way. No, what I mean, though, is the new VGC, like modern day VGC, is triple the content I had. Literally. I mean, you're talking hundreds of more moves, thousands more well, okay, maybe not thousands, but certainly hundreds more moves, triple the amount of Pokemon I had. Things are a lot different than they were, but more importantly is that props to anybody that plays VGC now. Yes, there are tiers, and I wanted to... when I first started VGC, in fact, I was the founder of VGC. Before I was the founder of Shiny Hunting, like, I was playing competitive back in Sapphire Ruby. We didn't really know about EVs back then. Oh, no, we didn't know about EVs back then, and EV training and IV breeding. We knew none of that. All I know is we were playing competitive. If you play competitive nowadays, it's 5D chess, dude. It's crazy extensive. And yes, there are tiers. I wanted to deny the existence of tiers as well, but there are just Pokemon that are useless and Pokemon that are OP, and that's just how it is. But in general, I should say, if you play VGC now, especially kids, oh man, kids would be geniuses if they play VGC Pokemon, because it is so extensive at this point. Like, it is one of the most respectable things you can get involved in my opinion, of course. Now, I'm biased. I used to be there for it. I went to the regionals. I took the regionals. Like, so I'm, of course, going to sing the praise of VGC. I gotta be honest. I don't know if I could take kids nowadays, even. I don't know if I could keep up. I bet I could. The question is, how? You know, how much? And I guess the answer is, unfortunately, I don't want to find out, because there's too many people that are extremely talented and good and go very far in all the way to Worlds, and they get no recognition for it, no nothing. It's just a pat on your back like, yeah, I did it. Woo. You know, go me. Doesn't really do much for you. Live 15 minutes from the venue. That was me, only it was about an hour out of Chicago. Cosmic, how are you doing? Good to see you, and welcome to the stream. Can't chat as much? Hey, no worries, Archo, man. It's good to have you regardless. I'm glad that you're finally starting that DLC, dude. That's going to be sweet. You were, like you said yesterday, I actually thought you were going to absolutely lose it when Alphen pulled the fire, or the flame blade. Or the, oh, jeez, I can talk. When he pulled the sword on the civilians, I was like, oh my god, that was sick. Absolutely sick. Okay, you did lose it. Good. I knew you would. I was like, oh my god, he pulled it on a bunch of D-bags. I'm like, oh, dude, swing that thing. I'm like, do it, do it, do it. That was hilarious and awesome. It was just straight up awesome. Anyways, you said always wanted to go, and it's mainly to get that experience. Average John, It is absolutely amazing going there. I mean, I own it, all right? I was a bit of a jerk when I went there. Like, it was really exciting to be around all these Pokemon lovers, because back then Pokemon was like, oh god, you still play Pokemon? Or if you heard this one, my god, did I hear this one? Dude, you're playing competitive Pokemon. You're literally making the game not fun. You're turning it into math. It's not even fun. You're taking the fun out of Pokemon. I heard that so much, dude. Everybody told me that, I swear. So you're among a crowd of people that weren't like that, and you're like, oh yeah, sweet. But then also I was a jerk teen that was really good at Pokemon, so I was like, these guys all have no idea, man. They're walking around, it's cute, they're amateurs, they're gonna get their asses whooped. I'm the best. I used to make fun of people because I was a shiny hunter. Again, jerk teen, I don't feel this way, but I was a shiny hunter, and there weren't many methods back then, so if I saw somebody using shinies in VGC, I was like, keep your shinies at home on the shelf where they belong. This is real Pokemon. Get your shinies out of here. I was a jerk. Hey, Tales of Arise enjoyers. So Archo was the one that really pushed me into finally taking Tales of Arise off the shelf, unwrapping it, and throwing it into the PlayStation, and I loved every minute of it. So then I got the DLC, and I loved every minute of that as well. I think I 100% the game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I fully 100% it before I finally put it away. And then I went into Final Fantasy 15. Again, my backlog is crazy. Don't judge me. So I go into Final Fantasy 15, right? Alphen is voiced by Ray Chase. That's his name, I believe, right? Ray Chase. And then I go into Final Fantasy 15 unknowing that guess who the main character is voiced by? Ray Chase. I'm like, what the heck? What are the odds of that? I mean, I did not know that going into him. I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, it literally, it was just funny. It was like, I had Alphen, then I had Noctis, and the same voice actor does both. I've been playing for hundreds and hundreds of hours with the same voice actor. Bow, 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 bow. Let's see. My only complaint was the last section of the base game. I would say I breathed so heavy into that mic, I apologize. I can say that the end of the game was solid, but at the same time, I felt like I was the only complaint I had about the end of the game was, other than nothing actually, it's just the ending. It was an extremely good showdown, put it that way, and I guess I was kind of ready for not the very last ending, but the overall arc. I was kind of ready for maybe a few more puppets pulling, or strings being pulled and puppets at the end of them. You know what I mean? Just a little bit more complexity. That's the only thing that had any problem going on with that game at all in my mind. Was it seemed like there were a lot of out of the blue things coming. Well, I guess I got that though, didn't I? You know what? Yeah, I did. I got that because the whole planet thing. No spoilers, of course. You never know who's listening. I'm a fan of a good boss rush. Dude. When I did, what was that? Alphen versus... Oh, dude, yeah. Volron was, you know what? He was a beast. I'll give you this. Volron... I joked about him being Walmart Sephiroth. I was absolutely joking. Volron was a beast. And I absolutely, I loved the interaction, man. Those two were fighting, and it was a sick fight. I think he was a great villain. That said, though, I'm trying to remember what was the boss rush. There was, what was it? There was an optional boss rush side quest, except it was an end game side quest. So, like, you're talking level 99. And if you guys did it, and I won't spoil because you never know who's listening, but the final battle of all of that, when all of the bosses were done, all the area bosses were absolutely done, there was one battle that I was like, oh, it was emotional. It was surprising. I was not ready for it, and it was sick, dude. It was a sick battle. As an actual mechanic, as not a cutscene, but an actual mechanic. But overall, loved it. Absolutely loved Tales of Arise. Thinking about going back and finishing, or I should say starting and finishing some Tales games that I've missed. Because like I say, before Arise, the last Tales game I played was Vesperia. That's how long it's been. Serene Snapping Turtle, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. What a name, Serene Snapping Turtle. I've come across maybe 3 snapping turtles in my life. They're units, man. They're straight up units. I just stay away. I'm going to sacrifice this Regigigas to Giratina when I get it shiny. Regigigas to Giratina. I'm assuming Regigigas is who you're shiny hunting. I thought about shiny hunting Regigigas. I feel like, and Giratina. Well, no. So I thought about Giratina, and then I did go through with Giratina. With Regigigas, it's one of those things where I'm like, how many Regigigas do I need shiny for me to finally be satisfied? Same thing. How many Giratina do I need shiny? I am at... Well, it's not that bad. I think I'm at 3 shiny Giratina. Yeah, I'm at 3, so it's not as bad as I thought it was. It felt like it was more. It's not. It's 3, so I'm good. I have room for 1 more. And I mean, actually, you know, a team is 6, so I have room for 3 more. Just saying. 4. Sorry, it's 4. Sorry, I forgot. Diamond, Platinum, and then Brilliant Diamond, and then Diamond again. I forgot about Platinum. Hey, Prex, my friend, how have you been, my friend? I'd say that it's been a little bit. It hasn't been bad. It's not been too long, but how are you doing, my friend? Check it out. Shaymin During Worlds. If it doesn't shine for me now, I'm telling you, it's never going to shine. Furthermore, I have not counted. So normally I don't count my encounters. I haven't counted my encounters for probably 15 years. And so normally I keep a tally based on time. So I'm like, I know that I do 70 encounters per hour, and then I'll be like, okay, I hunted for an hour and a half. So I know exactly how many, you know, I'd be like, okay, just throw 135 and keep a running tally. Right now, Shaymin, forget it. I haven't counted in a single minute, so I have no idea how many encounters we're at. Doesn't matter. Not the first time I didn't count. I mean, at all. But sick of this, too. I gotta admit, I ran into some problems with Darkrai. And I guess Shaymin's actually a little bit in there too. Shaymin's been... I started the Shaymin hunt right after Darkrai, so that's probably going on 1.5 years. So yeah, it's been a while. That might be the one, Archo. That might be the one. I'm not confirming anything, but it is. But yeah, I was not prepared for that. That was a very surprising final boss. And that's really that's the secret boss of the game, right? Other than in the fight pit area, I guess that level 99 fight pit, that one was pretty brutal. But I would say that the boss rush with the memories up on the tower or in the satellite, and of course that being the final one, not the one at the grave, but the full-blown boss rush where you go through all of them. That was definitely a sweet battle. It was awesome, and it was an excellent secret boss. It's already about it. The marriage is something we already knew about. No, it wasn't that. It was just the fact that Zephyr shows up. Let's see. Average John says, I was indifferent about Do. He was there to replace Shion if she went down, and I didn't have... Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry. Doalim. When you said Doe, I'm sorry, I forgot that they actually call him Doalim. They called Doe, or Doalim Doe. I don't think I had Doalim on my final team. I wasn't keeping him... I don't think I swapped him out either. Yeah, I had the base 4. I wasn't using Doalim. Does Link, how are you doing, my friend? And welcome to the stream. How did you get the Shaymin? Please tell me. So, I've been stuck. What happened was, way back in 2022, or was it 21? Now I can't remember. The years are blending together. So I got the event right after the game came out for Shaymin. And I hunted Shaymin for a little while. Don't ask me why. I think it was 21. God, it's been 3 years. I was very optimistic about this hunt because back in regular Diamond, back in 2007, this was like one of the only Pokemon I did not shiny hunt. So I got the event item for Oak's Letter, and I did the event, and then I left it, and probably about a month later, Darkrai's event dropped. So I went to Darkrai on Full Moon Island, on New Moon Island, rather, and I got stuck. And I got stuck bad, man. That was a very long hunt. I don't remember. I think it was 13,000 encounters, roughly. I got stuck. And that was such payback because Darkrai came to me in like a week when I did this in 2007. Dude, it was like, literally, it was nothing. It was so quick. And then Darkrai screwed me on this one. So, either way, after that, I returned to Shaymin, and I've been here since. So, that literally the OG event is how I got it. Serene Snapping Turtle says, this Regigigas has given you so much pain. You are on a crusade, my friend, a shiny crusade, and you shall not give up. I will not give up on little Shaymin here. You will not give up on the beast himself, Regigigas. It may be a giant unit titan. It may be a tank. You are not going to give up on it. We are both going to prevail. Can I use a glitch? I am not aware of the glitches in the modern games. I was quite familiar with glitches back in the day. I kind of kept an eye on it. I never really used glitch hunting, but I kept an eye on it. But in the modern games, I am not familiar at all with the glitches. Like, I used the Dark Void glitch back in the day to access Darkrai. There's been a lot of setups that have come out over the years, like, I don't know, Celebi in Gen 3, or the Mew glitch was the original one back in Yellow, so shiny hunting Mew is probably the craziest hunt ever, because you got to transfer it to the modern games, and you have to glitch yourself into getting Mew. But I don't know about the glitches here in the modern games, unfortunately. I wish I could help you out. I'm sure they're out there, but I unfortunately do not have knowledge of them. Krux says, wow, I don't think I've shiny hunted anything in over a year now. I haven't stopped shiny hunting in 22 years-ish. I know it was about the year that Crystal came out. That was about my first year shiny hunting. Literally, I am a founder. I'm a father of shiny hunting. Except I didn't really teach anybody, except I made some videos that got very popular on how to use the radar, because the radar was just a freaking mystery back in the day. It kind of still is. I understand how it works. It's unfortunate you can break a radar chain just by doing nothing. Like, you did everything right and your chain broke anyways. Just for funsies. But either way, so I didn't really teach too many people, so I can't call myself a father of shiny hunting, but sure was there for the start, man. There at the very beginning. Average John says, people hated the characters, but I loved them all. I loved them all. I loved them all. Was available until... Oh, I didn't know it went that long. Huh. Still, they're total jerks for not rerunning the event. I have no idea why they didn't just leave that event. Like, literally just give Darkrai out every new moon. Every single time a new moon happens, or somebody changes their clock to April 2nd or whatever. Ta-da, Darkrai, you know? Same thing with Shaymin. Shaymin is no longer available, and it's like, why would they do that? Law was always getting knocked down. He's a real one. Yeah, Law was definitely a great perception of that character that is the comic relief character, but actually kind of suffering deep down. And the grand question is the Grand Festival. Nintendo Gamer Kid, welcome to the stream. Good to see you, my friend. Sorry that we didn't get to play last night. You popped in right as I was calling it a stream, but I have not decided what team I'm going. I am on the fence. I literally cannot pick. I wish I could, but I am torn in 50 different directions. Might send it to Tartarus because of how much pain it has caused. Regigigas. Pain and suffering. It pretty much lives that. It's an obsolete computer that was living on standby for decades. No, more like centuries. Streaming again, I am, Meadow. Welcome back to the stream, Meadow. It's good to see you. So I decided that tonight was a good night to try and find Shaymin. Shaymin has been skunking me particularly badly, but I couldn't tell you how many. I just know about how long. But I'm going to go for Shaymin for sure. And I shall not give up, because Shaymin is a Pokemon that I never have had the shiny version of. I had pretty much the whole dex in Gen 7, dude. Gen 7, sorry, 2007, Gen 4. I pretty much shiny hunted everything in the game. And this is the one of very few Pokemon that I can say I never did. Never shiny hunted it. Which means that I've already accomplished shiny hunting it. Now I just need to accomplish actually finding it. Shaymin, we're all waiting on you. Shaymin. You should feel ashamed of yourself for making us wait so long. Hold the continents together, and then has become a statue for 100 eras. And then it woke up and chose violence. Have you ever seen in the base anime, not the movies or anything, but in the base core anime, when in the Diamond and Pearl arcs, Regigigas wakes up and it walks out, and for a Pokemon that's ability is slow start, this thing fires hyper beams with no cooldown. And those are stab hyper... Sorry, let me try that again. Those are stab hyper beams, by the way. So, I mean, this thing starts firing hyper beams in every direction with no cooldown, and those are stab. I'm like, dude, the anime version of Regigigas is absolutely broken. It was hilarious to watch that. Do I shiny hunt the pole Pokedex? Not anymore. I was way into shiny hunting back in the day. Shiny hunting was like when I was doing homework and not trying to EV train. That was my thing to do, was shiny hunting. It started with Gen 2 back when, hey Mia, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. How are you doing? I started shiny hunting when I saw it on an old, I think it was either GameFAQs or Envision Free. One of the two first is where I saw that you could potentially reset the game and get legendaries to force them to be shiny. Back in the day, nobody could decide. There were people that said, no, shiny hunting does not exist. The shiny frames and all that stuff weren't known. So what they said was, shiny hunting, the Pokemon's shiny values are determined when you start a new game. So I saw a lot of people saying, no, there is no such thing as shiny hunting. What you had to do was weed that out and listen to the one person that posted a photo bucket hosted 120p scrambled up picture of their their Game Boy, and they got a picture of it, and they go, oh my god, it's shiny, it works, shiny hunting is real. I wanted it to be real, so I just did it. I just said, let me do it until I want to be the guy that shows shiny hunting to be real. So, by the way, when I was a kid, I was like screaming when Lugia finally shined for me. That was the first legendary I went after. That's where it all began. Outside of the fact that Lugia wasn't my first shiny, it was my first hunted shiny. The hatching doesn't count because I found out that back in the day on Gen 2, when you bred with shiny Pokemon, your odds of getting a shiny baby were like 1 in 30. So it was cheating. Either way. But that's where it all started. But and so I was hardcore into it. I was harder core into VGC, but I certainly shiny hunted a lot. Mainly because, like I say, this kind of goes back to like the people I knew and the friends I knew online and things like that. You told them I'm a VGC player, which we didn't even call it that. You just said I'm competitive. You say I'm a competitive Pokemon player, and they go, oh, so you take Pokemon and make it not fun. Brilliant. But on the same flip side of that coin, when you have shinies, oh my god, you're so lucky, I wish I had those. Oh, it's the coolest thing ever. So I found myself giving my shinies away way more than I had keeping them, because I loved people singing the praise of how great it was that I gave them shinies. It was a really cool gift to give shinies. So that was mainly kind of why I kept shiny hunting, is because it went over a lot better than competitive did. Competitive, everybody just accused me of turning it into banking and accounting and making it math. And I was like, thank God that mentality is gone. The people at Worlds right now, they're getting the respect they deserve for that high of a level of gameplay. They're not getting told you took Pokemon and made it unfun. I don't think people still think that way, thankfully. One of the things that died in 2007 and stays right where it was. Although I think, yeah, it would have been 2008 was when all of this was going down, because I was competitive, but I really got into it in '08, and that's when I competed. In fact, I want to say '08 might have been the first year they even officially had that, because I was competing at like GameStop and local card shop tournaments where they would have Pokemon tournaments. I have a trophy in the other room, actually, still. I ended up donating a whole lot of trophies. Just the tops, you know, they take the plaques off, or they take the whole base off. And so I ended up donating them to youth groups and something that was in town where I used to live, where they repurposed the trophies. And I kept a couple of them, and a couple of the medals as well. Like, they were just little medals, nothing super expensive or anything, but I've got a few Pokemon medals and one trophy left. I kept the one trophy because it was, they weren't handing trophies out at, like, at the regional stuff, and which I have a little award plaque thing for that too. But the trophy, I'm trying to remember what that was. That was a community thing, and then it was just like a little mini league that got set up, but it also involved a whole bunch of counties. So there were a lot of people there. So I kept that one. Serene says, in the anime, very few Pokemon actually have abilities. Yeah, I agree with that, but Gen 4, they started like, that's really when VGC hit. And in the anime, Gen 4 started accounting for Pokemon's abilities. And then they really sort of kind of, I would say, I could be talking BS right now. I feel like they kind of dropped abilities, not much. It was just not as highlighted back in Black and White, which I didn't watch all of that, to be fair. I didn't even watch all of Diamond and Pearl. I skipped a lot of like the contest stuff. Not to be that guy, but I skipped Dawn's stuff. But they really focused on abilities back in Gen 4, the anime. And then I noticed in Kalos, they brought abilities back pretty hardcore. So I was like, oh, sweet. This is awesome. So, Sundir, she loves him. I gotta see what do you shiny? Nope, never mind. I don't know what that comment was. I'm sorry, Average Don. I missed the context for that. Archo says, oh, maybe you were talking to Archo. Bro, Rinwell gotta back off from Law. Yeah, that was, actually, I think they stated something about them. Well, yeah, in the DLC. Well, you're in the DLC now, so you kind of know how everything's broken down, including Doalim. Regigigas didn't have his ability in the anime. I don't believe he did, because he literally woke up, walked out of a cave, and started firing hyper beams in every direction with no cooldown. So, he definitely did not have slow start. The only thing you could argue about the slow start in the anime was that he kind of got up out of the chair when he rose up, when his lights turned on and all that. He moved a little slow. Like, it wasn't a hindrance to his battle. It was just like, wake up, creak, crack, rust cracking, and dirt everywhere. And then by the time he walked out of the cave, it was firing hyper beams left and right. In the movie, I'm trying to remember, because I don't remember the movie very well. I don't remember if Regigigas had any indication that it had slow start in the movie. I'm just thinking of the Brandon stuff. Froggy is a lurkin', but even more. I don't know how you lurk even harder. I don't know how that works. Froggy, you'll have to inform me. It's an art. Mia says, I have a feeling you're going to get that shine in 10 more. All right. So, Mia says the countdown is 10. So, we're going to start that countdown right now. This is the Mia countdown. So, here's number 1. Regigigas woke up and said, well, time to obliterate the earth now. So, anyways, I started blasting. That's Regigigas. Oh, you know what was really cool, dude? Regigigas in the Hoopa movie. That is like, he sounds so crazy in both Japanese and actually watch it. If you look it up, watch the Japanese voice actor or the voice of Regigigas. The Japanese voice of Regigigas is hilarious. It is, I would say that's my headcanon. That's what Regigigas sounds like in my headcanon, is the Hoopa movie Japanese version. That is exactly what it sounds like. In my headcanon, anyways. Regigigas went, I built this world and I can destroy it. I kind of wanted Regigigas to have a little more backstory, because I think they eventually just sort of said, well, what built a Regigigas? Arceus. for no reason. He's just doing God stuff. He just snapped his fingers with his 1,000 arms and ta-da, Regigigas. I wanted it to have more of like, it was built by humanity and abandoned by humanity, you know? But I never got anything like that. Mr. Phenomenal, welcome to the stream. How are you doing, my friend? Are the earlier seasons of the Pokemon anime worth watching? Because I never really watched any of the seasons prior to XY. By the way, oh my god, I was so hyped for XY. Let me give you my anime history, and this is number 3, Mia. I'm still counting. The Mia count is going. Alexandra, welcome to the stream, my friend. How are you doing? So for me, I was a kid in the 90s. Very young in the 90s when Pokemon dropped. So the first season was gold. It was absolutely amazing. But I was a kid. I don't know what it's like nowadays to watch it again. And the only thing I can tell you is that they were a lot more, a little riskier with the jokes. There were a lot of really good jokes, and I remember that much. I've seen some of the memes of the old days. I'm doing well, Alexandra. I thought tonight was a good night for a nice, relaxing stream, as well as since Worlds is going, what a better day to try and go for Shaymin. But I will say, Sinnoh, yes. So I loved Johto because Johto built up to the greatest battle of all time, Ash versus Gary. As a kid, I waited and waited and waited to see Gary battle Ash all out. That said, another fantastic a battle that absolutely has to be seen is Ash versus Paul. Oh man, the build up to that was insane. Battles were animated better, they were animated faster, and they even had abilities and status effects going on. So that is another solid highlight. There is a great battle you should see from after Diamond and Pearl in the... no, it wasn't after... I'm sorry, it was after Ruby and Sapphire when Ash was doing the battle pyramid. Charizard and Articuno. Oh my god, dude. Another killer. So yeah, I would say some of the battles are extremely worth it from the old anime. Regigigas is older than basically everything, and it's as old as Groudon and Kyogre. Yeah, I guess I never really asked the question, how old is Regigigas? Or I should say, how old is it in relativity to everything else? I never really thought about that before. All I know is I absolutely love that thing because it's a freaking unit, but to that point, though, yeah, I guess Regigigas would be older than humans. Archo says, yeah, it's kind of obvious that the romance, by the way, Mia, don't worry, this is for... oh, you gotta go? Mia, I swear I'm gonna shout you out if this thing shines in 6 more encounters. Yeah, I'm gonna shout you out, and you'll see it when I post the video. Froggy says, Nito, question, are we gonna do anything else this stream, or is it gonna be shiny hunting? It's gonna be shiny hunting only, and probably won't go too late into the night. I'm thinking maybe another 90 minutes at most. Let's see. Serene says, Regigigas, I already read that. What am I doing? I'm crazy. Where was I at from there? Froggy says, did I see your question? I did not, but then I did, so we're good. I'm all caught up. Sinnoh was great. It's not something you rewatch and see how bad it... Oh, it's not something you rewatch and see how bad. It's great and not just nostalgic. Sinnoh was awesome. Absolutely. By the way, you have a great voice. Really? Alexandra. I won't say flustered is the word, but I am honored for you to say that. I don't like my voice. I guess when I use a filter, I like it better. So like in anything I've posted, my Blueberry Academy Nuzlocke, that was great, by the way. I mean, I don't brag about my own work that often, but the Pokemon DLC, screw it. Any Nuzlocke I've done. Sword and Shield was great, but I mean, the Violet Nuzlocke and then the post game, or I should say the DLC Nuzlocke, I had a great time and I rocked it. And I got the voice filters kind of... I used to think voice filters, I was like, nah, nothing's going to save my voice. Forget it. Nobody cares about it. Well, once I started using voice filter, and all it does is clean the audio up, because otherwise it sounds like I'm talking like this away from the mic, and really it needs to just boost it so that you hear it and, you know, there's no echo or anything. I started accepting my voice a little bit better. However, I am humble hearing that you like my voice. I have never really, I don't know, I've never hated my talking voice. Maybe when I'm listening back to streams, I always feel like maybe there's too much nasality going on. But I know a little bit. Elaborate. All right, all right. We're putting the controller down. Mia, this is 5 if you're still out there. I'm pretty sure Reggie Gigas appeared randomly and started pulling continents together. Well, I mean, that's what I would do if I had that kind of power and brute strength. Tyranitar, ironically, was like, you know what? I'm just going to try and undo Reggie Gigas' work by screwing up the map topography just because I'm having a tantrum. Anyways, oh, Meadow, you guys are making me almost borderline flustered. I really appreciate it. So, elaborate. I know a little bit of music theory. I took a decent amount. I had some music theory, AP music theory back in school, and I continued it a little bit in college. And I sang for a little bit. Now, I note I am not a singer. However, when you're learning how to control your vocal cords, there are a bunch of techniques that are involved with 3 sets of flaps, basically, in your throat. When you're singing, like, a broad operatic sound, a clean singing, wah, that is using your true vocal cords, your true vocal flaps. Your false vocal flaps are where things get a little nitty-gritty. So when you're talking like, yeah, that is using your false vocal cords or your false vocal flaps. And it almost bends your larynx in a asymmetry. So it's not like when you're singing broad, open, la, that's all symmetry. But then when you start messing around, and especially if you sing metal, which I'm not a metal singer, by the way. I don't know how to sing metal. I sang clear. So I was using true vocal cords and they're open, right? When you're singing in metal or anything crazy where there's like grit and rasp and all that, what happens is your larynx kind of jumbles up. In fact, there's studies being done nowadays about that because it's not normal. It's very contorted, and using your false vocal cords is tricky. I don't even feel them. I don't feel my false vocal cords in my throat. But one of the things you can also do, and this is where I'm elaborating on, is the nasality. So if you're listening to singers, and I bring this into talking as well, is singers sometimes will get like a nasally sound. I'm trying to think of somebody who's really good at Megadeth. Dave Mustaine of Megadeth is a really good example because when he talks, he kind of talks like this. And that is extremely egregious of me to say that, but it's a nasality of it. And they use that nasality. They don't just do it screwing around. They use that nasality effectively. I feel like it's just sort of something that happens. Like, I don't have a broad voice. I got to really open it up, and it's hard to do. It's not something I could do to get that broad voice. I feel like I'm always talking with a little nasality to it, and I don't like it. So that's there you go. I just scienced you guys. I hope that you enjoyed that. Hey, Raven, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Magical luck from Magical Raven with her favorite Pokemon on screen. Mia said that in 10 encounters, I'm going to get it. So this is number 6 right here. Mia had to go, but this one's for Mia because Mia left on the note that she said 10 encounters. Like I said, this is number 6. Serene has to go as well. Serene, it was a pleasure. Thank you for stopping by, truly. Reggie Geekus made Regice, Regirock, Registeel, Regidrago, and Regieleki. Dude, I cannot tell you how much I love that they added those 2, Regieleki and Regidrago. Let me catch up. I was going very deep diving. I missed all this chat because I was talking about some music theory. So Archo says, what else did Regigigas do? Die on the cross for our sins and came back 3 days later? No. He died on the cross because he took that ability, slow start, and he didn't even complain about it. Alexandra says, now your voice is reminding me of someone, and I'm starting to hate it. Whoops, I shouldn't have done that. Let's see. Why do I always end up being called Alexander in YouTube? No, it's Alexandra. I think I'm reading that right. Yeah, Alexandra. Alexander this is Alexandra. This is, Alexander is the male version of that name. Alexandra is the feminine version of that name. Unless my Latin has failed me, I also took Latin back in the day. Alexandra was the masculine version was Alexander. The feminine version was Alexandra. Fun fact, I can't really speak Latin or Italian very well, but I know my way around the language just a little bit. Actually, I should pick up Italian at least. I know enough of it that it would be nice if I wasn't like super ignorant to it. Also, I smacked my knee in by the door, and I don't know. It's good. It feels like it's gonna be bruised, and I felt foolish, but nobody was watching, so we're good. I ratted on myself, I think, but otherwise, I think I'm good to go. Alexander and Alexandra are Greek. I say Latin. I'm sorry. I roll them up. Greek is obviously still spoken, but when I roll them up, I should explain what I mean is basically I took Latin, but we also had optional Greek to where we kind of got a little bit of Greek involved and learned a little bit of Greek while we were doing it. It was fun to learn. It wasn't part of the curriculum. It was actually just us expanding and broadening our knowledge. Here's number 8. So, let's see. I'm going to make a spell to give you that shiny. I can take all the magic that is possible to have for this little Shaymin here, because originally I thought Shaymin was going to be a really relaxing hunt. Raven, you remember that, where we were like, oh yeah, let's do this. We're totally going to get this. Shaymin Raven is going to happen. And then the next thing you know, it was just like, Shaymin has been going on for years. And I'm like, why Shaymin? What happened here? It's not as bad as Mewtwo. I've never had a hunt that completed like Mewtwo did. Cresselia's not completed. I don't think I'm ever going to... Dude, I still, till this day, try Cresselia all the time. And it's been 17 years. I'm pretty sure at this point, Cresselia hates me. Don't remember ever hearing a stream of yours. I don't think anybody has ever said that my voice sounds like somebody, but hopefully it doesn't remind you too much of somebody that you hate. Yeah, this knee is going to be bruised. This thing hurts, man. I mean, it's not killing me. It's just like, oh yeah, that kind of hurts. Don't touch it. It's tender. Imagine if this hunt ends up like the shiny Ralts situation. Mr. Phenomenal, going all the way back to the first video I ever posted on this channel as Nito Marquis. My very first video was my shiny Ralts hunt. And that went extremely well. So I would love for this to... Unless you're talking about the one I missed. That was an accident. And I guess the question is, I've always said, oh, I've never failed a shiny, ever. Until I found 2 shinies at the same time, by the way. Then I was forced to fail one. Either way. Prior to that, I said I've never failed a shiny. Unless you count the Ralts where the bush was shiny. And I was just like... Oh, that looks shiny for a second, but I'm not going to risk it because it's in a bad spot, so I'm just going to pass on it. And when I looked back at that video, it was a shiny, and I just passed on it. So I don't know if that counts as a fail because I never even encountered it. Let's see. Somebody I actually know. I've heard his voice. It's a random YouTube channel. Well, I'm going to make sure that I don't sound like that then. I do not want to sound like a scammer who's going, hey guys, my name is Nito Marquis, and I'm here to verify your credit cards are all intact and not breached by security. Just enter your number here, and I'll look it up for you. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be... You know what? I'm about as straight shooter as you can be, because I said it for years. If I wanted to build a shiny hunting channel... Oh, that was 10, by the way. Sorry, Mia. If I wanted to build a fake shiny hunting channel, I would have hacked in these shinies a long time ago and just faked all my reactions. I have been anti-fake shinies and or anti-cheat shinies for so many years. I am not about to give that up now. Never would. Hey, Mia, you're back. Unfortunately, your 10th prediction failed. I wish it hadn't, but it did. Shaymin here is being a little on the stubborn side. And yes... Magical Raven is a fairy with magic. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, too, is Raven's magic has come through so many times. There are so many times that she's like, now! And then, boom, it shines. And I'm like, how did you do that? Meadow says, well, actually, it doesn't count as a fail. Someone was playing Pokemon Violet, missed a shiny, which I probably have done the same thing and just never knew. It was not considered. People just made a news about it, and it was insane. Well, it counts. I mean, you pass up on a shiny you never knew was there. Think of it like this way. This is the tree in the forest argument. If a shiny sparkles and no one's around to see it, was it ever shiny? Did you fail the shiny is what it should be. Did you fail the shiny? And the answer is no. Unless you recorded it and then you look back and you see it, and then, yeah, you get to sulk and seethe for days. But if a shiny sparkles and no one's around to see it, did you fail it? No, because you didn't know it was there. Boom, boom, boom. Missed a shiny patch for Hoppit. By the way, I love shiny Jumpluff. Absolutely love it. There was a patch in front of it. I have never been angrier. Oof. I used to laugh because it went. What was it? What Pokemon was it? For the first time ever, it was not Primeape. I'm trying to think who it was. I finally had it happen. Oh, no, it wasn't. I take it back. It was Smeargle. This happened years ago. I take it back entirely. I caught a shiny Smeargle in Diamond, and it was an accident. I hit a patch on the first encounter trying to start a chain looking for something else, and I found it on a patch. So it was a bush that shook, and it was not a shiny patch, but the Pokemon involved was shiny. And I was like, oh my god, it actually happened to me. I had to think about it for a sec. I'm thinking I might have been rated here a few years ago, which is related to my profile picture. Let me go look at that. What's your profile picture? It is a Piplup. You have a Piplup. By the way, fun fact on my Diamond version, which I actually have that right here. If anybody's curious, what I actually, so I don't double hunt because I feel like a lot of people just reset 50 games at once so they can get a shiny hunting reaction. I'm not like that, but for a little while, I was doing something like that. And on the right side is my Nintendo DS, which is sitting here. And on that game, I named my my Piplup is Pipsqueak. Top tier name, if I do say so myself. Holy smokes! What? What's going on? Let's see. I recently met. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that already. His chatting is lovely. Maybe I have a nice, soothing voice after all. Maybe that's, maybe it's not like Splatoon where it seems like every now and then I just scream that I'm riding a shark. And then when somebody cancels my shark, it ends up as a YouTube Shorts about how sad I am that my shark got canceled. Alright, let me see here. When he reads a Mun message. I'm sorry, Meadow, did I miss one again? I swear that is just straight up 1,000% coincidence. I don't mean to miss your messages. Let me scroll back up. Let's see. Read my message, sir. You said. Well, actually, it does. Oh, I already read that, though. The Lechonk fail. Lechonk fail would suck because I actually like that. That shiny looks pretty funny. Just a pink pig. Kind of reminds me of Wind Waker. Sort of. Maybe just a little bit. You know the reason that I still listen. Aw, Raven. You guys are being so nice about my voice. I've never been this nice to myself about my voice. I've always been like, your voice sucks. You should feel ashamed. I don't usually enjoy live streams. Alexandra, you are preaching to the person that is straight up on the other side of that too. I did not expect that I would enjoy live streaming. I did not make this channel to live stream at all. I never intended to. I did it a couple of times, and I can't even remember now why. I did that Articuno hunt back when I first started this channel, and it was a good time. So I just started doing a few more of them, and the next thing you know, I just started live streaming anything I thought would be fun, and boom, boom, boom. The next thing you know, here we are. 6 years later, I think. But, yeah, I never expected to be live streaming. I had so much fun doing it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this. And to that point, actually, I said I'm going to do it to the beat of my own drum. So I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to constantly be begging for likes, which that's actually something. So I may not say, I don't remind people to like on the stream, or I don't lie. Yeah, there's nothing. I don't lie when people say, like, thank you so much. It means so much that you liked on the stream. What that means is you're telling me that you enjoyed it. And it's like, no, the reason people like likes is because it's more likely to promote your stream, which gets you more viewers. That's the reality of the situation. I don't care to ask for likes, but if you take the time to leave me a like, I take the time to thank you for it. But that's one thing. The other thing I don't do is, like, I don't overly promote the idea of donations. I certainly don't put meters or bars on the screen to reward donations as much as I thank people for donating because it's going to go to computer parts and things like that. But I encourage people all the time that, trust me, if you're on the fence of who you should donate to, pick somebody who needs it. Somebody who's really fighting the odds to try and stay in streaming, you know? I wanted to make things different. I wanted it to be organic. I wanted it to be about having a good time. And I feel like I have accomplished that, but it was funny how it came together because it was all somewhat unintentional. It was so fun that I just kept it up. So that's pretty much how I landed where I'm at. What is that? Ariane? I believe that is Ariane. Hello, Ariane, and welcome to the stream. I am Nito Marquis, Shiny Hunter Extraordinaire for the last 22 years. I think it's 22. I'm losing track now. But I'm stuck on Shaymin. And that's all right, because I'm going to make Shaymin happen before summer's over. Archo says, Nito, you missed a shocking confession of mine. I am botching this whole chatting thing. I need to scroll up. Hold up. Where did Archo say something? Let's see. Archo said, you hate cheated shinies. Well, I may or may not have dabbled in some AI manipulation. AI manipulation or just the RNG manipulation? Because if you just figure out what seed you're on a dead battery and use that to manipulate, I mean, when I do my Year of the Dragon hunt, if I ever I gotta get to that hunt. I'm not hunting Rayquaza when it's not the Year of the Dragon. Either way, that's on a dead battery. So the shiny hunt in that point is going to, or at that point, is going to be about frames. It's not going to be about luck. I digress, though. I would be like, if you were using an action replay to hack in your shinies and then bragging and like posting them on Instagram about how great of a shiny hunt you are, that would be where I'm like, boo, you suck. Thank you, Alexandra. I am truly humbled for anybody that has subscribed and stayed subscribed. Like I say, whatever the vibe was that made you subscribe in the first place, that is the vibe I'm aiming for every single time. And I can only hope that I am always achieving that. And so I really, truly appreciate that, guys. Lost track of my age. Put it this way. I was there for Red and Blue when it launched. I was very young. Very young. But I was there. Thank you very much, Raven. I truly appreciate you as well. I always appreciate you. RNG manipulation. I mean, there's some skill involved with that, right? I mean, unless you're using calculators and just sort of trying, like, if you calculate it out 35 seconds in, your shiny frame is coming with 6 IV. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cheating, man. But I don't care, honestly. As long as you're not trying to make a living off of your reputation after cheating a bunch of shinies. That's the only thing I care about. It's like bringing hacked Pokemon into VGC. I don't care if it's technically just speeding up the process. They're hacked, you cheated, we didn't, you're out. Now your voice is reminding me of someone who's really nice. Hey, I also told him to become a voice actor. Dude, I don't know if I've ever been told that before, to become a voice actor. That's amazing. I mean, I know a lot of people think that voice acting is simple, and I know it would take a lot of work. In fact, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I could practically do it, but it'd be kind of fun to do something like that, to at least try. Just one of those things. Pegasus pops up on my stream. You see that? Pegasus Angel. Literally, she is a voice actor now. It's funny that you mentioned voice acting while her name pops up. Coincidence? I think not. Nito is probably not as old as you guys think. Nope. But not as young. Nope. I'm, let's see. Oh, I'm in my prime. Yeah! I am in my prime. Raven, you're right. I feel like I'm in my prime. Hey, I just biked 30 miles the other day, man. I'm absolutely in my prime. I'm going to take over as a manager, as a chemical manager. Like, I'm in my prime, man. I'm just knocking things out. I don't know if I'm actually going to take over as manager, by the way. They could just totally dip me and pass me over, but either way, you get my point. I have aspirations. It solves world hunger. All you got to do is digest the sound of my voice. Sounds like a cartoon in a good way, really. Yeah, I have never really... I've heard some people tell me, and it gets to my heart every time they tell me this, is that I have a lovely voice. Raven, of course, you were like the first one ever that was praising my voice. And I always was like, I didn't know what to say sometimes, Raven, because I was like, really? But with that said, I know that there are, just from the music theory side of things, just because I don't know the science behind voice acting, but from music, I know how complex it can be to control your voice. So I'm like, man, I don't have any of those skills. Other than I dabbled in singing a little bit. I could sing just a little bit. Now, technically, I'm also, like, I guess my voice would sound better if I wasn't leaning over. I'm actually leaning over right now, and I shouldn't be doing that. I don't know why I'm doing that. This is terrible for my posture. But I'm leaning towards the mic, and that closes your lungs up and causes that nasality of your larynx that I was talking about to kind of be prominent front and center. So if I sat like this, which you guys can totally see, right? If I sat back and had my lungs open and let the larynx go with gravity, then I would say that it would probably sound a lot better. It would sound a lot less nasally, you know? But it's not just that, too. It's not just the larynx that's involved in speech as well as singing. The back of your regular throat. Your throat, or I shouldn't say your throat, your mouth. The back of your mouth. So, like, and the embouchure of your lips. All of these things go into it. I don't know how to control any of that, so it would take a lot of studying. However, to your point, I've never tried, so I don't know. Maybe there's some potential there, and I just never tried. Who knows? Maybe I'm passing up. You know how they say you could be a professional, you could be best in the world at something, and end up never having tried it, so you didn't know that you were the best in the world. Meadow says, also, Nito, when the life cycle ends in Splatoon 3, if you don't know what to do, you can play Triumvirate. You can play Triumvirate. I hope that they add that to customs, or salmon runs, to where you can up the where you can make your own private lobby, up the hazards, pick the weapons. I hope they put Triumvirate in there. Unless they didn't. I did already, I mean. Not didn't. Sorry, did already is what I meant. Alexandra says, thank you for the time. Alexandra, thank you for the praise. Your kind words truly mean a lot to me. These are things that resonate with me. I am not going to forget them, and thank you so much for coming by. I had a great time with you. You're welcome back anytime that you want to come by. I hope that you're always in good company around here. Archo says, I told you about him last time. Hold up. Okay, we're good. Let's see. I only have a few select voices of self-narration in my brain. Oh, yeah, yesterday we were talking about that. No, I have several voice actors. Like, what was I thinking? There's a character, I was just thinking about this, where I'm like, that would be D. Bradley Baker, 100%. So in my head, I hear D. Bradley Baker every time I read it. I'm trying to think who it was. Wasn't being kind, it was honesty. Those words are still kind and resonate with me no matter what. I appreciate the honesty because that honesty is still kind to me, and it means a lot. Like, it's praise that I'm not used to. I'm used to around here. You guys are great to me. But in life, I just don't feel like I was around praise very often. At work, if I want to get insulted, I'm being honest here, it's getting worse. At work, man, it doesn't matter, college degree, or I presented my work to the freaking EPA in college. I had a suit and a tie. My hair looked great. I spoke with such confidence when I gave that demo. Or I'm sorry, not demo, research. God, what's the word? When you present your research and it's really professional. Dissertation. When I presented that dissertation to the EPA, or I presented my work for a research grant and I earned the grant to continue the research, oh man, there are so many people at work that will just flush that down the toilet and just call me a dumbass. I'm like, man, if I want to get insulted, I know where to go. But you guys are great because I am sometimes still feeling like kind words. It feels weird in a flustering way. Like, oh my God, you guys are great. What did I do to deserve you? Thank you so much, truly. You guys brighten everything up a lot. It happens often, and I can't thank you enough. Speaking of people that brighten it for me, Ivanus, welcome to the stream. Is it over already? It is not over already. No, we're gonna go for, I'll probably go for another hour. I'm feeling it, man. We are going to get Shaymin tonight. I may say that a lot, but I mean it this time. Unworthy of the privilege around you, let's just say to be around you. What? No, you're, oh no, Alexandra, I am humbled and honored to be around you guys because it's hard to find people that don't suck, you know? It's like, people, more often than not, people are very often jerks, especially online. So I am in the best company I can be in, and I feel like sometimes, what did I do to deserve that? I feel very humble and very appreciative to be in the company of people that are just awesome to be around. Don't need to do anything wrong for you to do something wrong, if that makes sense. And I hit you with the opposite side of that too, is when you do something right, most of the time people don't know you've done anything at all. I can't really claim that I came up with that one, though. That was Bender from Futurama. Froggy says, hey, Nito, did you ever look at that game I forgot. I said I was going to do that right after the stream. Froggy, I'm writing a note right now. You're going to hear me typing this. It was called Rain. Hold up. It was called Rain. I was going to look back in the chat to see. All right, type it right now. Full attention, Froggy. As soon as you type it in, I'm going to, or as soon as you say it, I'm going to type it. It was called Rain. I can't believe I forgot to do that, dude. I am so forgetful. Raven, elaborate. You know how forgetful I am. Mr. Phenomenal says only 1 in 4,096 Shaymin have different dyed hair. It is a trend for them to have green hair or something. No, yeah, here's how it goes. Sometimes they grow, and you know how there's a 4-leaf clover? Well, there's a slightly off opaque Shaymin. That's legit how it goes. Alexandra, you have yourself a lovely night. Happy Worlds. And farewell to you, my friend. Rain World. All right, I have typed it in. I am not going to forget this time. God, I'm forgetful. No, wait. I'm just adjusting the mic. Don't attack Shaymin. It did nothing wrong. Let's see. I've been watching you for almost 3 years now. Archo, dude, you have been there for everything from the original shiny hunt that you saw was Dialga. You've been there for Mewtwo, which has been it's over now, but it was going for a lot longer. It was going since 2018. You saw 3 Houses, Fire Emblem. You saw Hades. Never streamed Mario Odyssey. I always said I was going to. My God, I am going to. I promise him. I want to play Mario Odyssey on stream so bad. Someday. Smash Bros. God, you had to have been there for dozens and dozens and dozens of Smash Bros. Splatoon, same thing. Ivan says, I've been watching Nito since Pokemon Splatfest, so about 2 years. Pokemon Splatfest was great, but my God, that Triforce one was awesome. Not to mention, I freaking called that one. It wasn't hard to call it, though. I'm sure I was one of 1,000 people that could have told you at the very beginning of that game, when we saw that there were going to be 3 teams in Tricolor battles, there's probably thousands of people that said they're going to do a Zelda one this year. Pokemon Black, actually, I was literally, I've got it right here. It's literally sitting right here. I got it out and ready to go. But that said, Pokemon Black might not have my attention because I got a new Wiimote. I had to get a new Wiimote because Energizer sucks. And yeah, I just called them out because literally I'm going to have to fight them tooth and nail for 20 bucks. Like, they owe me a refund, man. Their battery leaked in my controller. And they're like, well, do you have the lot number? Do you have the battery? You need to ship it back to us. I'm not about to keep hazardous material in my freaking house. It's literally battery acid. I'm not going to keep that around. So I lost that Wiimote. I had to order another one. So I told Naya, I'm like, I've got the Wiimote. We can play Zelda again. I couldn't open the game literally without the Wiimote because the Wiimote's fried. You can't open the game. So literally can't record it. Especially because I wanted to have Majora finished by now so that I wanted to do the Wind Waker streams right around October. And that's looking pretty rough right now. Not impossible, though. Do you remember when I first showed up? Froggy, it's been a while for you, hasn't it? I think, Froggy, you were there for... I'm going to guess that you were there for Splatfest. Money? Team Money? That's my guess. I'm going with it. Team Money. When I used the Uncharted 4 Henry Avery quote, I must seek my fortune. Archo says, funny how it's been out and ready to go for like 5 years now. Don't call me out, bro. I know. I'm procrastinating it, and I don't know why, but I promise Pokemon Black is coming. Oh, you don't remember. I thought there was an answer to it. All right, we're just going to go with my headcanon. I think it was probably Team Money. That was a really fun Splatfest, actually. Everybody thought that, what was it? It was money, friendship, and fame. And friends have won. Team Friendship won, like... Or was it family? Was it family, not friendship? I don't remember. All I know is the good, lighthearted team won in Splatoon 1. They won again in Splatoon 2. And then we're just like, screw it! Oh, love. Team Love. That's what it was. You're right. Team Love won in Splatoon 1. Team Love won again in Splatoon 2. And then Splatoon 3 comes along and we're like, you know what? Screw it. Love is overrated. Team Money. You can't buy love, but you can rent it for an hour. I'm going to get banned for saying that. I'm just kidding. Don't cancel me. All right, let's see. Archo says, low-key, I think everybody hates their voice. So you're not wrong. People are primed to hate the sound of their own voice. There is actual scientific proof for that, but I can't cite that for you right now. I don't have that on me. What? Really, Froggy? No way. I apologize. I've forgotten how long it's been. Ivanus says, Nito, do you have the shiny charm for this game? I do not, but actually, fun fact, the shiny charm does nothing for Shaymin anyways. You're on your own, 1 in 4,096. Remember, that's double the odds that I'm used to. I am OG 1 in 8,900... Try again. 1 in 8,192. Those are my numbers. I have that number tattooed on my big toe. I'm kidding, that's not true. But I lived those odds for years. So... 4,096 is already doing double what I used to do. And yet somehow I catch half the shinies. Figure that one out. I promise. Alexandra, for real this time. Came back and saw this, though. Hey, I wish you had come back and saw the shiny and you'd be like, oh my god, I'm so glad I came back. Let's see. Where was I at? Man, you started before Splatoon 3. How could I not remember that? So you were there during Chaos versus Order, I would assume. People always think my voice is unique is something. We definitely are all primed, Raven. Archo, I think you're 100% right. Is that because I don't hate my voice. I always thought, man, my voice isn't good. I wish I had a decent voice to hear, you know, something that was pleasant to hear. Let's see. Ivanus says, I'm OG. Okay, Grandpa, time to go to bed. No, hey. They said it was Boomer, not Grandpa. Grandpa was the greatest generation. I'm just a Boomer. Just kidding, my dad was a Boomer. Also, my dad probably rage quit Zelda, and it's my fault. No! It's not my fault for Zelda. Sort of. I helped him through the Water Temple, and then he never played the game again. Pokemon. I retired my dad. He battled me in Pokemon, I destroyed him, and he never played Pokemon again. I feel bad about that. My cousins quit Smash Bros. Because of me. I retired them too. I have nothing but shame in my heart. I want Shaymin, but instead I got shame. Mia says, I think my first stream was Friday Night Smash. I feel like it's been a long time, Mia. It's been so long I can't remember. I sound like if Toji Fushiguro, dub voice actor, was British. Rage quit? I feel so bad. So, Archo... Wait, Archo sounds British. Well, then again, I'm an ignorant American, so everything sounds British to me. Anybody from the UK, oh, that's British. I don't know the difference. Also, what's really funny is I know somebody that I have to call at work frequently, and I will leave messages on their phone. I could send an email, but I know that if I call their phone, I get the British version of, the number you have dialed is not available at the moment. Please leave a message, you know? And I just love hearing the British dude that recites that. I'm like, because I've heard a million times the American version of that, but the British one is just really strong, heavy accent for that. So it's just like really, it's really pleasant to hear a different version of that message. Of the number you have dialed right now is not available. Ivan says, Nito, I'm so close to getting that shiny charm. I sound like I just came out of a fire. You are super close to that shiny charm. I know I reject the charm, but I don't judge for the charm either. You're a British dude. I thought you were somewhere else in the UK. I don't remember specifically where, but it wasn't Britain. Although I guess Britain separated from the UK, so technically I can't say that, but you get my point. Mia says, I remember I was looking to play Smash Bros with someone and went on YouTube and found you. And I am glad that you were able to find my stream and that fate brought you to me so that we could play Smash, because we played Smash 100 times by now, and it's been a great time every single time. It has been awesome to have you around and absolutely a lovely time every time. Mr. Phenomenal says, something I wish was a thing is that trainers' Pokemon could be shiny so that you could be having a bad day, then a Team Rocket grunt fights you with a shiny... Oh, what was that? I think it was either in Gen 3, it was either the Battle Tower or it was the E-Reader. I don't remember which one it was. But yes, you could encounter shiny Pokemon in the hands of an opponent. And it was like, oh my god. That was just a fun little surprise. I think it was the E-Reader. I don't think it was Battle Tower. I think it was the E-Reader. You would do the E-Reader battles and the opponent's Pokemon could be shiny. The other fun thing was I used to put in secret bases, I used to put a team that had a couple of shinies in there so that when somebody would battle my team, like a friend after we linked up everybody's SPs and we downloaded each other's data so that their secret bases they could train on. And I used to throw shinies in there because it was really funny it was really cool. People appreciated. My friends were like, oh man, it's always fun first thing in the morning to battle you before school because your shinies pop out. And I'm like, those shinies just look cool. They don't actually do anything for the battle, but I get what you're saying. There were a lot of people that... It was more prominent back in the day for people to think that when they're battling you, if you're battling with shinies, you must be god tier, because not only are you battling competitively with a team that you've balanced out, but they're shiny as well. And it was like, no, those shinies suck. In fact, it was Gen 3. I didn't even know that they had EVs or IVs, so I didn't know if they sucked or not. It wasn't until Gen 4 that I knew all that stuff. Ivan says, Nito, that can also happen in one of the games with the professor takes out Pokemon, it can be shiny. Oh, you mean at the start? Yeah, I guess that counts too, where the Pokemon that you encounter at the start when you're shiny hunting the starters. There was also a really funny one was Wally. Wally can actually legitimately catch a shiny Ralts in Gen 3. So he'll literally go and he'll be like, oh, look, a shiny. Here, I'll just catch that. And it's like, dude, the NPC just shiny hunted and found one. What the heck? That's a crazy American moment. It's called the United Kingdom of Great Britain in full. Does that include Wales? Like, I know there's just a big chunk of land over there. Like, I have no idea as an ignorant American what it breaks down to. I just know what countries are there. Oh yeah, Nito, it was in Gen 3 when you don't have Pokeballs, you can encounter a shiny. Yeah, not only that, the uncatchable Poochyena. Or actually, I guess that is probably what you're talking about, uncatchable Pooch. But not just that, also uncatchable Starly in Gen 4. Because you don't have Pokeballs. Yeah, so I've got that much, is the UK/Great Britain is England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. So Northern Ireland is north of Ireland, of course, which is separated by a little bit of water. Wales is attached like a tumor to England, and then north of England is Scotland. And I don't know what that breaks down to in terms of the UK of Great Britain or any of that stuff. Froggy says, hey, Nito, is it okay if I text you through Discord? There's a lot of moments where I'm watching the stream, but absolutely. Froggy, I can keep an eye. I do that for I Am Short all the time. Let's see. They make the battles 0.56777 seconds longer. Yeah, if you're speed running and you catch a shiny at the start, you're screwed. You are literally like right there and then written out. Alright, let's see. I'm just checking the chat to see, is there anything that I missed? I think I'm okay. Other than Ivan has said I'm never getting that shiny. No, that was Darkrai. Darkrai, like Cresselia, legit I'm never getting that shiny. Literally, it's been 17 years. I'm gonna die before I get that freaking shiny. So that one's legit. Darkrai, Mewtwo was number 1 at the top of the list of Pokemon I actually did find shiny, but it seemed like they never were gonna shine. Then Darkrai, and now it seems like Shaymin has taken over for Darkrai. I feel like I've done a lot more resetting for Darkrai than I have for Shaymin right now, but I'm not keeping track, so I don't know. Because I do Shaymin off-stream a lot, so I know it's not just the streams, but I have not been estimating the encounters. We're putting your brain inside a computer? That's like intentionally going online and downloading a virus. Froggy says, never mind, Froggy, I already saw that. I don't know why sometimes I just skip a line. Let's see. You want to know some tiny funky about your Darkrai find? Something tiny, some tiny funky, something funny. There you go. I was going to say, I thought you meant something funky. Like, you know what was weird about that? No, something funny about my Darkrai find. Hit me, what you got? My cat literally just rolled into the radiator. Shiny is 5 seconds, so you add 0.06777. No, that can't be right. Those, well, in Gen 3 maybe, because in Gen 3 it was really fast. It was just bling, that's it. Gen 4, oh, you'd be super screwed on a speed run. Gen 4, those sparkles take forever, dude. Let's see. When you found him, I got an ad, so when I came back, it was shiny. Oh, that sucks. I hate YouTube for putting an ad like that. Maybe I should experiment with the manual ads. Do you think that's probably a good idea? I just didn't want to think about the ads at all. I just wanted to set it for the least frequent amount of ads as possible. And it seems like it's just a malfunctioning mess. I joined in on the hype just to blend in after. Oh, dude, that sucks. At least well, I mean, at least you can watch it back, right? But you didn't get to experience it. What are the odds? The odds of you having an ad right as Darkrai spawned shiny are lower than the odds for the Shaymin to be shiny right now. Mr. Phenomenal says, from the things I've seen, I think Legend ZA is in the future. I feel like it's in the past. I keep seeing so many people say that it was a future. But to me, I mean, it's Legends, right? Pokemon Legends. The name implies it's got to be in the past. And they were talking about building Lumiose City. They were talking about the blueprints to it. I truly believe ZA is about the past. It is not the future. I'm sticking down. I'm going to die on that hill. We'll see. Also, I was screwing around. I posted on Twitter. I was just like, hear me out. At Pokemon Worlds, they show some new designs from Pokemon Legends ZA. I don't know where the information is coming from. I just saw a couple people had told me that, yes, at the closing ceremony of the Worlds, they're going to drop a trailer. I don't know where that info comes from. I don't know if it's true or if it's crap. All I know is I heard that from a couple people now. I have not done my research. Alexandra has returned and says, I think you found the shiny by this comment. All right, let's see. If you wonder, I was watching shorts and got recommended to watch your next, watch next in your video. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, if that makes sense. Dude, I popped up in a shorts. That's amazing. Something fun fact for you guys. I actually type in the subtitles for my shorts. I realized how horrible they mangle them whenever I'm doing them. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna correct them a little bit. I'm gonna help out the subtitles a little bit here. And now you swear you're going to sleep. I'm holding you to it, Alexandra. When you wake up, hopefully there will be a highlight on this stream. When you come to this stream after it's been posted, if you look in the comments section, I always timestamp when something that you should watch occurred. That's why I never leave comments on my own videos or on my own streams. That's not true. I've had a number of shinies live. I always go for hard hunts or high-level hunts, if you will, now. And there's been a serious... I would say my favorite shiny hunt, and this is going to be really weird, my favorite live shiny hunt actually might have been when I wasn't even shiny hunting. I wasn't hunting for a shiny. I was hunting for a 6 IV Ditto in Let's Go. And by then, Sword and Shield had already come out. So I wanted a 6 IV Ditto off of Let's Go. And that's what my target was Ditto. And I found a 3 shiny Ditto while I was in the middle of that hunt. That was one of my favorites, dude. I loved that. That was such a fun stream. I had just moved houses, got the new job, and here I was going back to the old times. It was just a great time. I loved that. Archo says, on every Smash stream, I know Nito timestamps Archo gets pummeled and pins the comment. That's something I know Nito does for sure. I feel like that's something that I should do. Especially because I don't see Archo. Like, one time I saw Katy Perry came in here. It was the craziest thing. Katy Perry in Smash, for real, 100% legit. And I pummeled Katy Perry. And it was rude, but I did it. I remember that stream. Wait, did I actually do that? Yeah, no, Katy Perry was in Smash Bros. It was crazy. Just showed up out of the blue. I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, and this is the weird thing. Archo missed it every single time Katy Perry jumped in. Every single match that Katy Perry was here, Archo wasn't. Isn't that weird? What a horrible coincidence. Alright, let me check Discord just for one moment. I'm going to walk really slow on this one with my chibi legs that... I don't have knees, by the way. Have you ever noticed? They made these chibis by just making sure they don't have knees. See how they walk? There's no knees. Just stubbins. Alright, seems to be good. You could have swore that you missed a Splat stream with her in it, too. That's probably likely. Honestly, I don't remember exactly what streams that she was here for. Smash, Splatoon, or both. All I know is that you weren't here at the same time. You know, Shaymin, I don't mean to challenge you here, but it's the dead of night, and there are a bunch of people gathered to play Pokemon in Honolulu, which, by the way, I feel like I should have gone. I really do. The first time I ever could have competed, I think it was in Honolulu. I think it was 2008, and I feel like I should have gone there this year. But that would require me to step away from work for a second, and even though everyone's always telling me, don't forget to use your vacation time, I'm like, I have so many projects I have to come in early and leave late. I even asked for help. No offense, trash talking my boss on this one. But my boss at work was like, you know, if there's anything I can help you with, let me know. So I'm like, oh, actually, I'm swamped. You could help me with this. The response is, well, I could, but I assigned you that project so that you could do it in an organized fashion and report the data. I'm like, so then why even offer? I should have just took a week off, flew to Honolulu, and said, screw it. I'm in the beach. I have a point of contention and guilt, and I guess it gets a little, just a touch political, why I don't really like being a tourist in Hawaii. But I've never gone to Hawaii, so I haven't gotten that yet. I feel a little guilty that it seems like Hawaii's culture was pretty much taken away from them by settlers in the day and turned into a big party gimmick tourist attraction. I feel like I don't want to contribute to that ignorance of, I'm a tourist, look at me, tourist things, instead of the actual culture. I digress. Mr. Phenomenal says, I expect high standards from the Legends series. It's going to be careful about that, or they're going to be careful about that, but it's going to be contentious because Legends blew us all away. It's my favorite game. Sun and Moon comes in at number 2. Sun and Moon was dethroned by Legends. Now we all are going to be expecting Legends, to your point. And I don't know, sometimes you set the standards so high that you're going to find gripes because it's like, I would have done it this way. I would have had this. Ivanus says, Nito, what would happen if you killed the shiny on accident? I would stop posting videos forever. I would close Nito Marquee. I would not do that. I would probably post it as my first shiny fail ever. I would own it, and it would be horrible. Archo says, Nito, for the first time ever, I'm going fully blind in the Legends ZA. Like I'm not watching a single trailer. Oh, I can't say that. I definitely watched the trailers for Legends Arceus. Arceus was, oh god, that was such a good game. I feel somewhat guilty that I didn't stream it, and maybe I should stream a new playthrough. I think I talked about that for like 2 years now, where I'm like, oh dude, I want to do one more playthrough and I'm going to do it live. But I only showed certain portions of it for my blind playthrough. I recorded it after I got through most of the game. I did stream it, but that wasn't the playthrough. That was after the fact. And then I did record the later parts of it. And no, I streamed it, I feel like I streamed it like 10 times. It was a lot more than just 2, but at the same time, though, I didn't actually stream or record the full playthrough. Ivanus says, I remember when I first saw new Salmon Run bosses, and I kept falling in the water. Saw the new ones, and you kept falling in the water. The new ones. You mean like after they reveal one and you'd see it for the first time? Dude, I have such a night and day difference between... I have 2 videos. One was the first time in Salmon Run that I ever saw Ouroboros, and the other one was the first time that I encountered Joe. And they are so... I mean, the outcomes, every little aspect of those videos are totally different. The Megalodontia did not go like the Ouroboros did. It was crazy. Mr. Phenomenal says the Volo fight is really different. Dude, I got smoked on it. I think it took me about 5 or 6 tries. I think it was 5 tries. And I had to use a lot of items. Or I think it was 4. I posted it, so I can go back and look how many tries it took. But I ended up using items because I would get to a certain point, and I played with a competitive team. I balanced it out. I did not use legendaries. I wanted to make it a challenge, and then I realized I was out of my league, and I was just like, I'm going to have to revive my Pokemon going into the surprise parts. I loved that. Volo is sick, dude. Best fight in all of Pokemon. That makes me look back. A lot has changed in my life, but the one thing that has remained constant is Nito streams. Hey, dude, I love that. That's awesome. I love that. There are so many people that I don't know how many people have been here since 2017 when I started this channel. But I don't know. There's probably not that many that have stuck around. And it's crazy hearing that idea that, you know what, I've been consistent in your life. Not a lot of people could say that. There's not a lot of things that stay consistent in life. The Volo fight was super challenging. And then I pull out. Dude, I love that I got the Aether Flute after, how many years? 15 years of waiting. I finally get the Aether Flute, and I finally got to walk up and go see Arceus. And that fight does not get talked about enough. Mainly because the Volo fight was absolute insanity. But the Arceus battle, oh my god. By the way, Arceus will definitely be up after Shaymin. So Shaymin, why don't you go ahead and shine so I can go get to Arceus? He canonically uses 8 Pokemon. Technically, he uses 7, but that's the thing. Do you have any idea how sick it would be if instead of pressure, instead of giving Giratina freaking pressure, they gave Giratina the ability to restore its health and go into its origin form as an actual ability? And don't tell me that that would be broken and that they wouldn't do it. because they did Ash Greninja. So they could do it and screw around and just say, I don't care if it's broken, we're doing it because it's badass. They could give Giratina that ability and make it canonical that Giratina can go into its origin form after it loses its health down to 0. That would be sick. That would be amazing. I would freaking love it. It's pressure that you have, right, Giratina? Yeah, you totally have pressure. Where's your ability? Pressure, yeah. So I was going to say, you have pressure. So Giratina literally has pressure. Boring. Boring. The most boring legendary ability of all time. Give it some crazy origin form. Your HP hits 0s. And yeah, and just ban Giratina. Look, you did it to Rayquaza, all right? They gave Rayquaza a broken ability that makes no sense at all. And you just have to pretend that Pokemon doesn't exist. Do it to Giratina, just for the sake of making him badass. Your HP hits 0, he goes into origin form, and his HP goes back to max. If you want to balance it out a little bit, just make it to where Giratina's stat bonuses don't stay after the ability kicks in. So if you do Dragon Dance, Dragon Dance, Dragon Dance, and then they take you out, you lose that bonus. Just to make sure, you know? Ivanus says, Nito, they better let me bring my boy Marshadow into Legends ZA, or else I'ma cry. I wouldn't count on it. The whole point of a Legends game is that it's a side game, and though you can transfer Pokemon into it, the idea is that they limit the dex because they're making a story. They're not making a full dex, which is why they didn't give you the full dex in Sword and Shield as well as Scarlet Violet. Dude, do you remember how crazy people were? I don't even want to tell this story. I was going to say, I'm not going to tell the story while Shaymin's spawning, because then the video is going to remind people. Do you remember how crazy people were when the National Dex didn't have every Pokemon on it for Sword and Shield? And I agree. I don't know why it doesn't, truly. I don't know why Scarlet Violet doesn't have every Pokemon on it. But my God, people went insane. They were trying to boycott it. They were trying to cancel Pokemon. It was crazy, dude. That was insanity. It was like, dude, you got to find something else to worry about. This is not a big deal. Dude, yeah, I know, Mr. Phenomenal. Giratina deserves that ability. Pokemon, make it happen. Make Giratina have some crazy, stupid, over-the-top OP ability that I have just described. Archo says, damn, that really makes me reflect on life when I think about it. That's actually so cool. Was that in context to the thing about you've had me as a point of consistency in your life, or were those two separate statements? I didn't read the chat fast enough. I'm an idiot. Ivanus says, no, Nito, you can bring Pokemon. Yeah, you can, but same thing, National Dex. So that's where I say that even though you can bring the Pokemon there, I get why that does not have a full National Dex, and I would totally get if they didn't do that again. That said, Marshadow totally should belong in Kalos. I could see that 100%. It was in context to the long message I typed that I missed. Let me scroll up here. Archo says, nah, like when I first started watching, I was still struggling with, oh, I'm sorry, I missed that, dude. Struggling with anxiety, and I was underweight. Now I'm in the best shape of my life and the most laid-back guy I know. Not only am I happy to hear that, dude, really happy to hear that, it is amazing to reflect on your life. Look at where you were. Like when I look at myself when I was a competitive Pokemon player, it was like the only thing I was good at. School, I was good. I was excelling. But at a certain point, school started, I wasn't excelling anymore. It happened, I would say, probably about 2009, 2010. And once I started slipping a little bit, and I wasn't slipping because I wasn't paying attention, I just wasn't taking good tests. School was just, things weren't making sense. When I would take a test, I couldn't remember things. And the next thing you know, it felt like everybody in school abandoned me. They didn't want to write letters of recommendation to colleges anymore. They didn't want to tell me to take AP classes. They didn't have my back. They were telling me to don't get in over my head. Don't shoot for the moon because you could go into financial debt if you keep thinking of that way. You need to think more in terms of planning your life accordingly. And when I think back to that, and I'm like, dude, I look back at that kid that was playing competitive Pokemon, and it's like, I know that when I was really competitive, it was the start of high school, end of middle school, so truly I wasn't having those doubts yet. But still, it's the idea that very shortly after that, I had all these doubts, and I seemed to think that life was not going to work out. And it did. And it mostly did because I said screw you to every single person who ever told me that I couldn't do something. I flat out told my principal swear words to go do to himself. And I went on and paved my path. And I was like, dude, it did work out. And sometimes I kind of wish I could go back and be like, tell myself, look, it is going to work out. Just make sure you don't listen to anybody that's full of shit. Make sure you pave your path and have like top tier in determination. I told him that after the fact. I was not a student anymore. At that point, I was an adult that had graduated. But, and to be fair, I only told him that because he used to be my guidance, or he was a guidance counselor. And then he became the principal. So, and he actually left anyways after that. But either way, I told him after the fact. I was like, dude, I just want to remind you, you told me not to be worried about getting into state colleges and all this. You know, maybe I need to think about not going into science, you know, or looking at my grades, be real about things. I'm like, that's it. I told him, I just want you to know this. XYZ. Go yourself. And I left, and I was just like, perfect. Your streams have sure helped me, though. Really, don't think I'm the same person I was if I hadn't met you. Dude, that pulled at the same strings that that Alexandra just pulled at with the liking my voice and the humble, kind words and the honesty. I don't even know what to say, truly. I am so humble and proud to have any sort of influence in your life, man. The idea of influencers influencing people has always been counterintuitive to my beliefs because I'm like, dude, influencers are just hype men. They sell you stuff and they hype it up while they do it. True influences cross your path with meaningful messages and meaningful interactions at a point where you take influence from them by their personality and getting to know them, not because they're really hype. And if I have achieved that, oh my god, dude, I'm honored. I'm very happy to be able to say that I did that. That's awesome, dude. It's been a pleasure knowing you. Absolutely an amazing time knowing you. And know that I have any impact on you, dude. What more could I ask for? Balls of pure titanium? I guess I could ask for that. In ZA, an XYZ or black and white remake. Just checking Shaymin there for a sec. I'm a bit confused. Is ZA an XY or... no. Sorry, I wonder if I need to go get some water. That's if black and white. There better be a way to get a shiny Victini. I don't know what that's all about because I wasn't shiny hunting in Gen 5. I haven't played Gen 5, but now I understand. I've heard about the shiny Victini thing that you couldn't get one. No. So ZA is a continuation. It's a lore expansion game. Couple of things don't make sense about it in Diamond and Pearl versus Legends Arceus, but I guess I don't care that much about the lore. Like, I don't want to make sure that every little detail makes perfect sense, you know? You can also, I can also relate. I flipped off 2 of my counselors when I was 12. This was meant to be a bad thing, by the way. No, my counselors would have deserved it. I had 2 counselors. You had your guidance counselor, and then you had just the general counselor. The general counselor, I guess, she didn't get let go, but she applied to a better job and made a shitload of money in the process, so screw her. She told me privately something that was just putting me down. It was a total private interaction. But then my guidance counselor, who went on to become the principal, he was the one that was shoving it down my ear, voice of doubt. You know, don't try to improve. Don't try to be the best you can be. Be real. Be realistic about your goals and expectations. Because not everybody, and I think he even said something about this, like, you know, there's only 1% of the crowd that makes it to millionaire status or something like that. And I'm just like, Well, what if I find meaning in my life by achieving something great? What about that part about it? So I am so glad I told him, you know, it was just a good way to end school. I have cats that have entered the room. Hi, buddy. Hi, boys. They just came walking in with their floof hanging out, and they're adorable. Archo says, just realized that when I reflected on my life and how I've grown so much, and you've been there the whole way, kind of cool, don't you think? Yeah, that's you had said that earlier. It's and I do. I know you pretty well indeed. Not only that, but yeah, I've seen those growths. Now, granted, I haven't seen them in like your interactions outside because we don't know each other in that regards. You've told me the stories, and I've seen that growth through the stories, though. It was also kind of funny because you said you went to Italy at one point, and I kind of forgot that, like, going to Italy for you is like me going to Texas. It's not packing your bags and flying to another country and staying there for a while in a hotel. And all. Well, I mean, you can stay in a hotel. It's just, it doesn't involve as much work. It's passport as well, but it's not like a 25-hour flight or a 16-hour flight or anything crazy. It's you probably had to fly there because of the water, but either way, it was probably like a 5-hour flight. I always remember that because I was like, oh man, going to Italy. And now the more I think about it, I was like, you know, I treated that like it was a long expedition. It's not that long for you. You don't get to make a bunch of money you don't need to make a bunch of money to succeed, in my opinion. I agree. For success is based on how many people you have influenced positively. To me, it's as long as my work doesn't get dragged through the mud all the time. When people are looking back at my lab notebook and seeing my notes and how I conducted my experiments, how I reported on my stuff, or they just remember their interactions with me, success means that those are all positive. Scroll up. Nito, you were the first streamer who I felt happy to be friends with. I just feel so weird when I remember the Pokemon, making sure Shaymin is not shiny. Crap, I lost it. There. When I remember the Pokemon Splatfest, since it was the first Splatfest we met. I am absolutely proud to call you my friend. That is another sentence that is straight up humbling. My heartstrings have been tugged today, my friends. You guys rock. Seriously, like I say, sometimes I don't know what I did to deserve to be in good company all the time, you know? It's like no trolls, no raids, no jerks. We've had a couple of people over the years come through that they didn't insult me, but they did insult people in my chat, and so I had to ban them. But in general, I sometimes feel like, man, I know the best people. Like, everybody I have met rocks. So the fact that I have been very fortunate to meet you guys, sometimes I'm just like, man, what did I do to deserve that? It is such a respectful community. I can't thank everybody enough for how well, I mean, okay, good example. Yeah, that's exactly it. There were people that have pointed out to me that they're surprised that I'm able to run Smash Bros. Streams because of how hard it is to stream Smash Bros. Because nobody gets along, or fighting, or arguing, or people get salty, or how hard it is to manage Splatoon rather, because people jump back in the room when they're not supposed to, and all this different stuff. And like, I'm like, dude, I know people that give up their spot so I don't have to break the room down. And it's like, I am so freaking fortunate that you guys are awesome. I can meet in real life, like, 9 out of 10 people that I can encounter are total jerks. Nah, it's not that bad. 50-50. 50-50 that I'll run into people that are jerks, that are stuck in their ways, that are disrespectful, and it's like, everybody I meet on YouTube, it's like 100%. It's like 99% are awesome. Mia, you gotta go. I wish you good luck. Thank you for the well wishes, Mia. I truly appreciate our time together as well. Speaking of people that rock, Mia, you have always been one of them, and I'm always pleasure. I have happy feelings when you come into the chat, and it's always a pleasure to have you around and play with you and enjoy games with you. So thank you for coming by and enjoying this. Normally, like I said, that was the other thing, is I really rarely stream anything that's not multiplayer. So I love that we can sit back and chat, and I have a great time doing that too. I love sharing moments with you guys, but the fact is not every shiny stream is going to share moments. So we just share our time, and it's awesome, dude. It just is such a great time every time. Raven says, what I like about Nito is he can tell you if you're good or bad. You can tell him you're of your past, and he doesn't judge you right away. He listens and then figures if you're good or bad. I do. I definitely... I'm not an intuitive person necessarily, so you hear people that are like, oh, I get bad vibes from them. I'm not super intuitive. I gather data. And I recognize that if you said something that you shouldn't have said 10 years ago, you don't need to get canceled for that. I recognize that you don't necessarily have to be the same person you were 10 years ago. Some people never change, but some people do. Some people learn from their mistakes and do not reoffend, you know? Some people don't intend to make mistakes in the first place. So I'm forgiving in those regards. Now, I will admit I'm also really justice-driven, so when somebody is not remorseful, I am not... I'd no second chance for that. When somebody's not remorseful about doing something bad, they get no second chance. So I'm very vindicating in those regards. But, or vilifying. But yeah, I like to think that I don't judge people. I'm an accepting person that I take the data at face value, and I gather data and make my judgment appropriately. You know, if somebody's just not a good person, you can tell. But I take time to do that. I take time to make sure that I didn't catch them on a bad day, you know? Archer says, best part about streaming, I think, is connecting with others over a game. That's exactly what it is I am not trying to show... I'm not trying to relive the glory days and show I'm the greatest shiny hunter. And not trying to insult anybody else or stand out from the crowd. Just trying to have a good time with you guys. Raven says, Nito makes me feel good, even when I'm always saying that I'm not. Nito has always been a positive, or has been positive in something else. And I'm happy to, Raven. I'm always happy to. This rock in the game, the Remembrance Rock, what was it called? The rock of, the Thanks Rock, the Giving Rock, whatever that thing's called. I put Raven's name on it because you were also a source of positivity when I was having a rough time, Raven. That was on my birthday, and you refused to let me have a bad birthday. And for that, I was like, I thank you eternally by carving your name in the rock in the game, but regardless, my point stands. It was the rock associated with your favorite Pokemon at a time that I needed it. So I was like, I'll never forget that, Raven. Archer says, like my example of this in the Survival Night. Dude, those Survival Night streams were legendary. Not only did they add so much to that Nuzlocke, but what you guys did at the end, oh man, that was sweet. That was awesome. And I agree. I think we did that in a way nobody could... No, there's nobody out there that did that. That was an us thing. It is a memory that we have of something that we did that I don't think anybody had that unique experience. That experience was exclusive to us. And it's one of those things I'll never forget. Yeah, you started clapping. Everybody started clapping. And then when I walked up, that was so sweet, dude. That's why I was like, oh, that was awesome. I'm going to immortalize that in the recap video. That whole Nuzlocke had a huge layer added to it with that. That Nuzlocke would be just a Nuzlocke without that, while it was an amazing Nuzlocke. And I had a great time doing it, and it was unique with those storylines. At the end of the result was fantastic. I performed very well. At the end of the day, when we added that survival mode to it, it became something that was legendary, a standalone that no one else had going. It was our idea. And I still remember it wasn't just the survival nights. Remember, we were shooting the shit, if you will. We were talking about that before the game came out. And kind of developing a plan for it. So it was like, we birthed the idea. The seed was sprouted in a previous stream. And then when I came up with, all right, let's go with this, and I came up with the finalized idea, it was something that we had discussed live. Like, we were doing that. We were coming up with it live. I didn't just put it together. We had been chatting about it for a while. That was awesome. Raven says, I am glad I met you. Raven, I am glad that I have you in my life. I appreciate it, truly. I am fortunate to have you and everybody else. I'm fortunate to have you too, buddy. My cat just looked over here like, well, what about me? Some light Yagami level pitching. Ironically, that was a trivia, or was that? No, I didn't ask that as a trivia question on my. Oh, I put the TV on standby. Hang on one second. There we go. No, that was just a trivia question at one point. Remember, I was asking the trivia question for. It wasn't my birthday stream, but it was for something, and I was just like, if anybody knows my favorite anime, happens to be Death Note. Ironically, it was. Did I tell you guys this? That people, I was friends with a bunch of anime people in high school. Of course, we all were. We never outgrew it. You know, it's not something you outgrow. So I'm still in the. I don't watch as much, but I've got a lot of recommendations from you guys to follow up, particularly you, Archo. There was a character from Death Note that everybody compared me to. Light was one of them. A lot of people said that I was always thinking about all the details, and I looked like Light, so they compared me to Light. But there was a character I looked even more like, and this particular character had an attribute, two attributes. There were two things this character owned that resonated with me. So this was the character they all compared me to in Death Note. And that character's name was Matt. And he almost got, like, maybe collectively 5 minutes of screen time total. But the reason that he resonated with me is because he was playing a, I think he actually has, like, legitimately has a Nintendo DS in the anime. He's playing a Nintendo DS in the anime, and he drives, like, everybody's got their cars, and then out of nowhere, he has, like, a 1969 Dodge Charger. And so he has this muscle car with this loud American V8. And I drove a muscle car with a loud American V8. So it was like, that's why they said, dude, you're Matt. They said, my friends were like, you act like Light, but you live like Matt. So that was the character I got this compared to. It was not Light. It was Matt. Unfortunately, it also kind of made sense that he was at the Whammy's house where all the geniuses were. He was like the 4th or 5th smartest person in the manga. Like, he was the 5th top person, and that kind of resonated with me because I never felt like I was ever number 1, no matter how much I wanted to be. I always landed in 5th, you know, stuff like that. Let's see. You said I always tried to build it off a challenge, off of it to challenge your ideas and make it a better challenge. The end result was perfect. Nito, do you know my favorite Pokemon? And you said, yeah, my top anime recommendations are Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man. So, Jujutsu Kaisen, I actually saw it on Netflix, but I probably won't watch it on Netflix because shit quality. But I saw it either way. I'm definitely going to throw that on my radar alongside Attack on Titan are the two that I want to get through. Because I feel like I wanted to... Attack on Titan was good, and I only watched the first season. I didn't read the manga. I didn't watch the subbed version of it. I know it's done now. And I'm like, you know what? I should go back to that. I enjoyed it. I just kind of got hooked randomly. I should watch Attack on Titan, so I'll go back and do that one for sure. And, of course, Demon Slayer. There's a whole arc I haven't seen yet leading up into Infinity Castle. When I was watching Attack on Titan, there was an anime that was a shorter anime, but it was nonetheless... I thought it was pretty good, actually. I felt bad that... actually, I take it back. Not just good. For a little while, it hooked me. I was invested. Let me know if you guys have heard of this one. It was called Dimension W. I would say 24, 22 episodes, maybe 20 episodes at the most. And I was hooked, dude. And not just because the guy drove the same car that I drove. The main character did, but I was hooked. Ivanus says, Nito, do you have a Ceruledge? I have a Ceruledge, and absolutely right after the stream, Ivanus, I will send it your way. Gotta guess your favorite Pokemon. I know your favorite Pokemon. I just can't remember what it was. Let me think here. Let me think one. I know your favorite Pokemon. We discussed this. Oh, jeez. What is your favorite Pokemon? Archo, I've seen you have brought one of your favorite Pokemon with you to a raid, I think. Gen 4. Was it Giratina? Because I remember we got wasted by Giratina at one time and you laughed your ass off at that in the Dynamax adventure. Ivanus, guess your favorite Pokemon as well. All right, let's do this. Ivanus, let me think. So Archo, it's not Giratina, so I'm gonna go. Let's go with Electivire. Is Electivire your favorite Pokemon? I've got 2 people that legitimately claim Electivire are their favorite Pokemon. I know 2 people in my life. And then Ivanus, what would your favorite Pokemon be? Let me think here. If I know you like I think I know you, I know you're a Victini fan and a Marshadow fan, so let's go. I don't know if Marshadow is your favorite, so I'm not going to guess Marshadow, but basically I sort of am guessing Marshadow. I'm going to say, let's go Magearna, which is in Raven's top 3, I think, by the way. Shaymin is Raven's number 1. And I believe Magearna is, like, her number 2 or number 3. Alright, let's see. Not Electivire. Okay, so it wasn't Electivire. Am I safely? I'm going to safely. I'm not going to ask because I might as well guess. So I'm going to safely rule out Electivire, Rhyperior, and Magmortar. So, Gen 4. I wonder if it's Dialga. Was your favorite Pokemon Dialga? Ivanus says, incorrect, but the Pokemon I'm talking about is mythical and first appeared in Gen 7. Alright, so Ultra Beasts are ruled out because Ultra Beasts aren't mythical. Are Ultra Beasts mythical? No, because they're Ultra Beasts. That's what they are. Let's see. I'm going to look up mythical Pokemon. Are Ultra Beasts... Because otherwise, I mean, you're down to, like, just a handful of Pokemon that are, like... There are literally only, like, Zeraora is one of them, and Zarude is one of them, Meltan and Melmetal. Like, you are straight up... There are not many left if Ultra Beasts are not considered mythical. Alright, let's see. Keep going. 6. Gen 7. Your options for Gen 7 are Marshadow, Magearna. Okay, so it is Marshadow. I guess Marshadow is your favorite. Zeraora and Zarude. And Meltan. And Melmetal. Why am I including Zarude there? He's not. That's Gen 8. Sorry. Alright, so it's definitely... I'm going to go ahead and put my official guesses. It is Marshadow. Let's see. So it is Marshadow. See, I thought that was too obvious. I didn't want to guess Marshadow, so I just picked the other mythical from Gen 7. Yeah, okay, I get you. That was pretty obvious, wasn't it? Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. All right, so we got yours, and you guys all know my favorite Pokemon. You know what's oh, that's right, Raven. I think I know Raven's top 3. If you're out there, Shaymin is your number 1 favorite Pokemon. Diancie is number 2. Diancie. I don't even know how to officially say that, honestly. Diancie is number 2, and Magearna is number 3. I think that's Raven's top 3 Pokemon. All right, Arjo says, both of yours are Gen 4 I used in a lot of runs. If you think of me, it should be easy. Oh, it's totally Probopass. It's not Probopass. Let's go Infernape. Archo, guess number 1 is Infernape. Or actually, it's more like guess number 3, but Infernape. Infernape is correct. Hey, look at Nito go. I just had to think a little bit. I had to think about it a little more critically. Ivanus says, I'm going to go since it's getting late, and I am almost done. I'm going to go for 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to close off the stream. And Ivanus, I will send you the Ceruledge. You didn't get it from Archo, right? Because Archo, your Switch is dead. All right, so if I'm thinking about you, if I'm thinking like Raven, it would be like Miss Magius. So if I'm thinking Archo, I feel like Luxray has a really good chance. I gotta think about it for a sec here. I think Luxray has a really good chance of being the Pokemon. But you used it a lot, and Luxray kind of sucks competitively. Well, that's not true. Well, okay, it is true. He's really slow, but honestly, that's not really fair. All right, so it's not Luxray. All right, so we're not going with Luxray. Luxray's up there, but it's not the one. All right, so we gotta think. Gen 4 Pokemon. Infernape was up there. So who else would be up there with Infernape? If it wasn't Luxray, and it's not Probopass, I'm thinking like Rampardos and Bastiodon have a really good chance of being the Pokemon. Who else was in Gen 4 that I think you would like? I mean, we had a... Well, I mean, okay, let's go with the obvious one. Garchomp, final answer. I'm just thinking Cynthia here. Let's go with the obvious choice before... Because otherwise I'm thinking, if it's not Garchomp, it's Heatran is going to be my next guess. Let's go with Garchomp. And we got it. It is Garchomp. Garchomp is a beast, man. Garchomp is not only a beast, but everybody fears Garchomp. Thanks to Cynthia and now Volo, we all know it means death when we see those two. So Garchomp and Infernape. Top tier, absolutely. Both of those Pokemon. I also still throw Heatran in that list of really, really great Gen 4 Pokemon because Heatran is great. Competitively viable, sweet design, and a fun little story with that dude who's... what was his name? Oh, God, what was that dude's name? The hyperactive one, the one that... when you go... I don't even think I did Heatran in this game. Let's see. Where's the map? Town map. So all the... Yeah, see, I didn't even go for Heatran yet. I have not caught Heatran. He's right there. So I haven't gone and done that yet. I can't remember his name. The dude that kind of looks like maybe he's related to Flint and probably was related to Flint. And he's in Pokemon Generations. He's there. Team Galactic is there, Looker's there, and Heatran's there. Just can't remember his name. Alright, so let's go with your number 3. A classic I've used a lot too. And we are Gen 1 classic. Should be easy to guess since it's in every game ever. So if that's the case, if you hadn't said that, I would say Mewtwo. But it sounds like it's Charizard. Charizard, final answer. It's not Zard. Okay. Backup answer, Mewtwo. Not Mewtwo either. Okay, so We've ruled out the big two, Charizard and Mewtwo. And this is your third favorite, and it's not going to be somebody like Pikachu. It's going to be somebody, a beast. Somebody is a beast. I'm going to say Gyarados. Gyarados, final answer, which is actually my third final answer. 3 attempts at number 3. Gyarados. Boom, see? Doesn't take me long, man. Just got to dial it in. Got a couple of options, and then I throw the dartboard, and I get it. Hey, Sugamori, how are you doing? And welcome to the stream, although I will be wrapping it up here pretty shortly, but Nidoking is my pick, of course. You can't go wrong with Nidoking. Minus the fact that it has a lot of weaknesses, but it's also got Earthquake and Horn Drill, which are just funny to see land. Horn Drill holds a special place in my heart because of Pokemon Stadium. There was nothing cooler than a Nidoking using Horn Drill. But then Nidoking literally being able to go physical or special, that is the only saving grace I guess he's got. Nidoking's really not competitively viable, but my god, he's a beast. It's a sweet Pokemon, dude. It's a poison type. Poison and ground type. What more could you ask for? Poison being my favorite type, of course. I was super spoiled in Gen 7 and Gen 8. I had Poipole and Naganadel. And I thought I was eating rich, right? I thought I was, like, on top of the world. And then they followed up with Eternatus. And I know Eternatus doesn't get enough recognition because it was a scripted battle that, you know, you couldn't lose to Eternatus. But that Pokemon's design is still badass no matter which way you look at it. Both forms. So I got Poison Dragons. I was just on top of the world, man. I was getting spoiled. All right. Let's see how well Nido knows me. What's my favorite humor style? This one is a cinch. Humor style? I'm not really sure how to guess a humor style, to be honest. Okay, I can rule out slapstick. It's not slapstick. So I know that much. How about lovable loser? I guess maybe lovable loser is, you know, or innuendo. Is innuendo your favorite? I'm going to go with that. Let's go with that one. Innuendo is your favorite humor. It's not as funny over text. Can you explain what innuendo is? Did you see Inuyasha? Are you familiar with Inuyasha in general? Specifically the character Moroku. Okay, that's no good. We can't use that example. Brock in Pokemon. Alright? Think of how Brock acts around every time he sees a pretty girl. Take that to various levels and varying degrees, but that's basically what innuendo is. So when I say, what is Moroku in Inuyasha? Moroku asks every woman he comes in contact with to bear his children. Literally, word for word. That's what I mean. That's not your preferred style. Okay. Let's go, I guess, comic relief then. Particularly like we were talking about Law in Tales of Arise earlier. Law is comic relief, where he's a serious character with serious problems and character building, but his main role is as comic relief too. So while he has his moments of seriousness and you can resonate with that, you also remember that he's the funny guy in the group that's always thinking funny stuff. It's not comic relief, but I have, let's see. But I have you a hint in chat. Let's see, what was the hint? What's my favorite humor style? This one is a cinch, even though it's not as funny over text. That was the hint. Not as funny over text. What would be a humor style that's not as funny over text? It would be something with facial expressions. It would be, like in the anime Trigun. What was the guy's name? Crap, I forgot his name. Trigun's friend that had the gun carrying thing that looked like a cross. Hold on, let me go back and check this. What was that guy's name? What was his name? It was Wolfwood. Duh, Wolfwood. I forgot. Wolfwood in Trigun, where he's got over-the-top facial expressions all the time. It's a manner of speaking. All right, so let's see. Is it like... I missed it. I thought I read the hint. You said you gave me a dead giveaway that I'll never, ever guess it. There's no way you'll ever guess it. Maybe that's a little too obvious now. Is it just basic sarcasm? Or is it like hyperbole? Hyperbole? Or are we talking sarcasm like Deadpool? Basically, whatever Deadpool is my favorite type of humor. Anything Deadpool, all of it. That's pretty much my humor. That's my favorite type, personally. Deadpool sarcasm, I'd say. All right, so you're in the same boat, basically. Is anything Deadpool? That's your favorite type of humor. That's the best way to describe it. He has reinvented that character. Ryan Reynolds has reinvented an entire genre of humor with Deadpool. Sarcasm, hyperbole, and innuendo. I would say there are several legendary characters over all of time that have exacerbated that exact feeling. So, it's a solid pick. Deadpool is in the same boat. That is exactly Deadpool. Sarcasm, hyperbole, and innuendo. That is Deadpool. Speaking of which, Deadpool and Wolverine, top tier, great, absolutely awesome. Overtook Joker for the most profitable rated R Marvel movie. Very, very impressive. I loved Joker, man. I absolutely loved it. It's Joker and Joker 2. I'm sure I will see it in theaters and it'll be absolutely amazing. I loved Joker. All the Deadpool movies, freaking loved them. Did I ever show you? I've got a hilarious thing, Archo. Archo, you know what? Hold on. I have a picture of it. Did I ever show you my Deadpool figurine that I've got? I know exactly when I took a picture of this, so I can put it in my Discord chat. I got it right around the same time that Pokemon Let's Go came out. I'm going to go slow for this reset. Alright, I'm going to put this in my Discord and tag you on it. You're going to love this. I don't know where this came from. I have no idea what caused this to exist. Maybe I don't know where I took it. Well, I know roughly where it's at. I know where it has to be on my phone. Does Nito take too many pictures? And the answer is yes. I will post it there right after the stream. To your point, it is past 10 o'clock, so here's what I'm going to do. I'll tag you in Discord after the fact. For now, I'm going to finish up the stream. Let's do 5 encounters. 5 more runaway encounters, and then I will call it a stream there. Art show, if I check, I think you might be the last one in chat, so this will all work out perfectly because I can just talk directly to you, man. But it's I appreciate you being here, man. If something happens, you're gonna be, well, the lurkers are here. The lurkers are still here. There are people a-lurking. So for anybody that's lurking, I hope you're enjoying everything that we're just kind of talking and having a good time here. I'm really appreciative of anybody that has stopped by today. And if I happen to have a moment here, 4 more to go. Archo, you'll be the only person in chat to witness this. Raven's probably still lurking, so Raven's out there. But I don't know if Froggy left. I can't tell who. I know there are about 3 lurkers. I just don't know specifically who they are. But that said, I know Froggy was out there for the longest time, and I know Raven's probably out there. So with that said, Archo, you'd be the only one in chat to witness. Are we going to make a moment happen? 3 more to go. I think you should guess one last thing. Type of woman? The letter D. A couple of them, in fact. All right. 3 more encounters. Here we go. Shaymin, are you going to make it happen for us? We've had a couple of people that have wished me magical luck. And, hey, see, I know you well. That's 3. 2 more to go. Shaymin, make it happen for us. Make it happen, Shaymin. I trust that you will shine in 2 more encounters. You have to shine before the end of the summer. What sense would it make to hunt you in the in the fall or the winter time? Shaymin, you have to do this. I don't want to put you off until another spring. 2 more. The next encounter is my last encounter for the night. Here we go. Nothing this time. 1 more. Are you going to add yet another stream to the list of bust? No shiny, no success. Is that really what you're going to do to me, Shaymin? Are you really going to hit me with another one? How well do you know you, blonde or brunette? Let's go blonde. Upon your confirmation, if I was correct, I will encounter Shaymin for the last time all stream. I'm wrong. Wow. Look at me go, man. I actually got one wrong. Combo breaker. The streak is over. All right, here we go. Final encounter of the stream, and then I'm going to go ahead and call it a night there. Here we go. Shaymin. It is Worlds 2024 in Honolulu. Honolulu is famous for flowers. You're famous for flowers. It is summer. We are not at the end of summer. Therefore, by all means, now is your time to shine, literally. Shaymin, this is the final encounter of the stream. Make something happen for us. Do it, Shaymin. Alas, no shiny tonight, my friends. I'll hit up Ivanus if you're still floating around. You need a Sarah Ledge, and I can make that happen. Archo, man, it's been a pleasure to talk with you for so long, dude. It's always a fun time to get to just sit here and chat about anything that crosses our minds. So, I can't thank you and everybody enough. I appreciate everybody that liked on the stream. I seriously appreciate everybody who took the time to spend with me tonight with a nice, chill, calm stream of Shaymin hunting. So, I will get this Shaymin soon. I can feel it. I'm not letting another summer go by. Cresselia. Dude, my charger's laying on the floor over here for that DS. The battery doesn't last that long. The one that I use for Cresselia, rather. That battery burns up quick. I have to charge it all the time. So I just left the charger here lately laying on the floor. Literally charge it like 3 times a week. It's been a great time, Archo. Man, I appreciate it, truly. I got some very kind comments tonight that I almost was flustered from, like, oh my god. The fact that anybody views me like that is like, I feel like I've accomplished something, man. I have the reputation I wanted. I have everything that I could ask for. So with that said, humble and proud, I am Nito Marquis, and for anybody that watched this back and got to the end of the stream, I thank you for watching this back, and hopefully you enjoyed some of the talks that we had here. In the meantime, I really, truly hope I can provide you guys the highlight we've all been waiting for Shaymin. Especially you, Magical Raven. It's your favorite Pokemon, and you've been there for every hunt. I hope that I can get it for you eventually. Have a good night, Archo. Have a good night, everybody that's lurking. Take care. Happy Worlds. And I'll catch you on the next one, which might be tomorrow because we have an all-random rotation, Grizzco random rotation in Splatoon 3. I may just go ahead and stream that. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.